Hi guys. Well, I drilled my spot weld holes. So I gotta gird my brand new paint up. Oh well. I almost forgot. There was one back in that corner. Needed to be cleaned up a little bit more. So I'll get back in there with a wire wheel on my grinder and see if I can't finish that up. And then put this panel back, or put this panel in. So yeah. Then once this panel's in there, I think it's heater tunnel time. Alrighty. Well, I was using my old grinder to clean up that corner in there, and she caught something and took off out of my hands, spun in a circle and died. So she's over 20 years old. That's a cheapy Menards $13 grinder, so I like the trigger on that better than my new one. I don't know, I'll have to check it over to see if, I'm thinking the cord got broke someplace. Dad's old grinder worked when I first got it going, and then the armature burned up in it right away. So it still has its cord, I think. I gotta find it. Little grinder repair in the future. So, she's cleaned up. I had to get the car moved over. I started cleaning the bottom of that pillar up. The sides and the bottom. I gotta get the car moved over because she's hitting the heater, so I can finish cleaning that up, which it's nothing that has to be done right now. I just had the grinder and I was just cleaning. So yeah. I do believe that it's ready to put back in there. I can't think of anything else. Oh, where that body dent is, you can't see it from here if I look from the car. It's from that line to that line, and I was thinking about chopping that out, but I put this on the vise and I hit it with a hammer and she folded very easy. So I am going to put this in, tack weld both sides, and then get a rod or just grab my air hammer from work with my long bit, flat bit. I've seen people put bead rolls and stuff with an air hammer, so I should be able to form that right into that little valley. It just has to be tight so I can spot weld it. So I'm not cutting that up anymore. I'd rather have a one piece anyways. Be stronger. So yeah. And there is no little bolts that come through the bottom of this. That just sits on Napoleon's hat. So that's what it is. Alrighty. I guess it's time to install it. A little snafu. Remember I just told you that the grinder took off on my hands? It hit this piece. That's curved down now, that's dented in, and that's rounded out. You gotta be shitting me. Alrighty, let's see if I can get that fixed. Alrighty. I got that and that almost done. I gotta tweak up this lip a little bit. I didn't know exactly where to hammer it and pry it to, so I got a little more tweaking on that bottom edge, but she's pretty much back to my black line that I had drawn. Bolts are in her. So yeah, there with that bar in my way, there's no good camera angle. There she is, in all her glory. She's sitting in the car. Huh. That's not too bad. Alrighty. Let me start tweaking away on this. Okay. That was sitting really nice in there. Nice angle coming up. Not dented up like that. That's because I hit it. I don't know if I can get closer. Okay. Plan. Right side. Get her tacked on that edge because I had that perfect. And anyways, tack the right side. Get that all lined up. Loosen up them nuts or them bolts. I crawled underneath, looked the best I could. It's nice and flat with that nut pocket. But I want to loosen them up and give it a little tappy just to make sure it's back far enough because I can see in that corner. And then I'm going to put the bottom. I drilled too many holes, but the bottom good spot weld. I'm going to drill that, or I'm going to spot weld that in. So the right side put together, spot weld the bottom hole, and then put the heater tunnels back in this thing and see how it fits. I don't want to weld that in. I want to weld it in good enough to where it stays, but I don't want to weld it in where I can't take it back out if I messed up again. It's always a possibility. So, that's my plan. Get that right piece joined together. Make sure it's back all the way. Put the bottom spot weld in. I'm not going to worry about the rest of them coming up or the top for right now. And get that heater channel back in and see where we're at. Which I still have to flip it over, clean it up, and paint it. So yeah, I got some doing to do. Okay. And there's freaking everything in the way. Right side's tacked together. A little more than tacked, but it's not done. The bottom spot weld is on there. I did loosen them bolts and gave her a tappy, and she went back just a little bit. So I'm glad I did that. So I don't have time to prep the fucking tunnels and have them all ready, which they have to come back out anyways. So, but I gotta dry run them to see if so far everything is coming up. So that's what I'm gonna do now. They're not ready to install, but they're close. get them up in here and see what we're looking like. And then I'll have to run through all my measurements, make sure that we're in the ballpark. See what she looks like. Okay. She's sitting down that seam okay. She isn't quite over. It's gotta be flush. See if I can do the camera. It's gotta be flush right there. There's a little bit of weld right in that corner that's gotta come out. Let it come over. Yeah, I got my camera upside down, so all my fingers getting in there. She's almost sitting against here. We got a little clearance issues right in there. Because this has to come this way. So yeah. I'll sit and play with this and see if I can't get this to come over. It's got to come over. It's got to come over quite a bit up here. And a little bit over here. And there's a little gap in the front panel, so my panel's sitting pretty good. I know on the other side it does a little whoop right in here. And that would be probably because of this lip. Make sure this bended up metal isn't interfering. Figure out what to do right here. I'm pretty sure I gotta do a little whoop right here because it comes out here. So there's plenty of clearance, but she's pretty much hitting right there, so. I think that corner is going to have to get trimmed off a little bit. That's going to have to get trimmed off a little bit. There'll be a whole panel across here that'll cover all that up anyways. So I'm going to keep tweaking at this. See if I can't get this up in here. Okay. After a little tweaking, a little grinding, she's sitting pretty darn good. Both bolts are in the front. Yeah. After the struggle I went to tonight, I don't feel good putting this tunnel in without the pans. So yeah, I got some thinking to do. Quarter-inch off is not hard to get. That's everything up. So yeah, she's in there. Problem is she could go an 1/8 inch, quarter-inch, either way on all areas, so not sure what to do. before I put her on the pans, I'd like to get that side cut out. But if I can't secure this side, but then with that one all destroyed, what I was wanting to do was get her all fixed in the front with them pockets and tack the tunnels in, then set it on the frame, and then if I had to, I could cut the frickin' welds and move everything around. But even with it braced, this thing still moves around. So not sure what to do right now. I need to come up with a way to pick this thing up and down off the frame. I'm thinking about a 4x4 stand above it with some kind of pulley system. So yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll think about it.